Plotting time series data can often be more complicated than plotting a lot of other forms of data. So in R, there are various ways that this can be done, and it often requires a bit of pre-processing to ensure that the data is in a format where the date is interpreted correctly and put onto the axis labels, often the x-axis label, in the way that is intended and seems sensible. So what we're going to do here is to make use of the ggplot2 graphics package to produce a time series plot. And the data that I'm going to use is some data from the number of views in the YouTube channel across a 4-month period, May to August 2010. So the first step in this operation is to make the ggplot2 package available in the session. And then we're loading in 4 separate CSV files, and each of these has got information about a particular month and the number of views on each day. We then go and combine all this data into a single data set with the rbind function, which is row bind, so it adds the 4 months data together. We run that and save it as yt.df object, and the function head allows us to print out the first few lines of this particular data set. So you see there are quite a few bits of information, but what we're interested in here are 2 columns, the date and the number of views. So then what we're going to do is to create a data frame. Now the data frame is going to list the dates, and the way that the dates are going to be done is by using the tapply function to pick out the unique dates that appear in our data set, and then the views function, we can use the tapply function to count the number of views on each of the dates. So if we run that command, and then what we can do is just print out the data, we'll see particular dates here and number of views on those individual days. So the ggplot function is used to produce a graph. First thing we specify is the name of the data frame, which we've just created, and then the AES stands for aesthetics, and this maps information from this data frame to axis on our graph, in which case here the date's going to go on the x-axis and the views is on the y-axis. Now we're going to have a line plot, so that's why we've got the line geom here. And then we put in a few other things. So we've got an x-axis label and a y-axis label, and then we've got this scale function here, which tells ggplot that the x-axis scale should actually be a date rather than just a number, and one of the options that we can specify is the format. So the %b %y specifies a particular month-year combination format that we want to use in our graph. So we submit that command, and this is the graph that's produced there. So as we can see, we've got the short month, which is the 3 letters here, then dash followed by the year in which the data was collected. And we've got the time series plot showing a general increase across that particular time period.